I know you guys are all going to probably be wondering and asking about the Kelvin thing. So just so you guys understand, what was done was, done in the best interest of this football team, this organization. Kelvin's done some terrific things for us, and he's a heck of a football player. What this does for us is it gives us an opportunity to put some young guys on the field with some speed, and give us an opportunity to move forward. And I think it gives Kelvin an opportunity to start somewhere else as well. So it's just that's just the way it is.
Ron, have he expressed any interest in wanting to play somewhere else?
No. Guys, I read you a statement. I'm not going to get into that part of it. That has nothing to do with it. As I said, what was done in the best interest of the football team going forward.
Can you speak about when you guys start to have consideration for a move like this regarding Kelvin in the offense?
Other than the fact that we had a phone call yesterday about him, that's about it.
But prior to that, it wasn't?
No.
Ron, what do you mean when you said it might be good for him to kind of go somewhere for another opportunity?
It's an opportunity for him to go somewhere else. Just that simple, Joe. I mean, there's nothing to read into it. As I said, the biggest thing that we did was create an opportunity for some young guys, some fast guys to get on the football field.
But Ron, isn't it fair to say the offense, it needed something, some shakeup of some sort?
I think what we had was we have two guys with similar skill sets in him and Funch, and we have a group of young guys that we need to get on the football field to create some speed, and these young guys will get their opportunities.
Where does player reaction fall for this move compared to maybe some other moves that you've seen in the past?
Well, I think the thing about player reaction is, it's always after the fact. You always take into consideration how they feel about it, but the thing about it's always after the fact.
A lot of young guys, Coach, that'll be on the field Sunday, but you got an older group of kids, older group of young men that you have to manage them also on the team and in the huddle. How do you go about managing the veterans more so than the young kids?
Well, I think the veterans look at things as what you're doing, helping the football team, and that's what we believe we're doing. We're trying to help the football team. We're trying to find a way to, get that speed on the football field. We did something similar to this in 2014 and got some speed on the football field, and I think it helped us stretch the field a little bit. We haven't stretched the field this year, and I think there's some things that compound some of the things that we want to do as far as running the football. Not being able to stretch the field, I think, has been a part of the reason why we've seen so much 8- and 9-man boxes. Now there's an opportunity for us to do something different.
Ron, who do you anticipate taking over that starting role? Be Shepard or Samuel?
I think Shep and Curtis and Kalen will get opportunities. Again, all of it, and I'm not really concerned about who starts as much as who plays.
Russell said some interesting things today about how a situation that was similar to this, but because of injury and not because of trade, happened when he was in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously stepped up from being a third-string guy to being the starter.
Absolutely.
Does that give him a sense of confidence about the situation in general and communicating it with other guys?
Very much so, and I think it gives us a sense of confidence in him as well. I mean, again, this was done very thoughtfully as we talked through it yesterday, and again, looking at an opportunity to change some things and create something different. And this is something that if you look at it, we needed to do.
Could you expand a little bit more on what you mean about how it was affecting the run games? I think we all look at what it does to the pass game, but what it was doing.
Well, we were getting a lot of press, man-to-man press. Guys were getting up on our bigger receivers. And again, when you get guys that get up in that position, you've got to win instantly off the ball and get vertical very quickly. And we didn't have that skill set out there. When you put a Curtis Samuels or you put a Kalen Clay, or you put a Russell Shepard, who've got that kind of quickness and vertical speed, it gets people to back off a little bit. We got a lot of single safety, so that meant the other safety was in the box, and we have to do something to help alleviate the pressure that's being put on the offense to run the ball.
You tried a new guy punt return last week. Is that something you guys are going to continue to play with this week?
Well, I think Kalen did a nice job. I mean, again, it was one of the reasons why he made the original 53. He was going to help us with special teams. He was going to help us at wide receiver as well. And we got an opportunity to make a trade for a corner that we felt we really liked a lot. And then, they tried to make a move to bring him back, and we got a chance to steal him, and so we did. We brought Kelvin back for that. For that is one of the purposes we brought him back.
Right, the young guys and the speed on the team all along. Had this call not come, were you made this move anyway to get the offense?
Well, you can do that, but again, you when you're in the flow of the game and the rhythm of the game, and you've got the same guy out there, and 1 minute he's running a shallow crosser, the next minute he's running a dig, the next minute he's running a 7, then all of a sudden he pops and runs a 9 for you. Not every time he comes out on the field you're going to run a reverse or you're going to run a 9 route with him. Now they've got to pay attention, because now if you bring the guy out there and they see him out there and they go, oh, okay, well, he's going to run the reverse or run the 9, and you do something different. You see how you follow what I'm saying? I mean, it's just one of those things. Every time he comes in, here comes the reverse. Every time he comes in, here comes the 9 route. No, now you've got a guy that's going to be on the field in a little bit extended playing time, and so now it's one of those things where you have to read your keys. You got to go through the basic premise of calling defenses based on not just the person that's out there, but the personnel grouping.
Kind of a slow start, but now there will be a lot more on him in terms of being one of these.
Well, the biggest thing for Curtis, more so than anything else, is, again, he didn't have a complete training camp as well. And I think, again, when we've seen that, because, our quarterback didn't have a complete training camp. And so that not just hampers the individual, but it hampers the unit. The unit doesn't get to have the guy out there to work with him and know what it feels like to have the guy around.
Ron, when did you first see the issue with them playing press coverage outside and impacting things? When did that first?
Well, I think you start looking at it, and you go back to the last couple of times we've really struggled running the football. And you start seeing the 8 and 9 guys in the box, and you start seeing when teams get up there and they zero blitz you in the middle of the field on 2nd and 8, 2nd and 10. There's a little something there that you sit there and go, okay, they're not respecting your ability to do certain things.
Ron, Cam was just in here. He and Kelvin obviously are very close to you. Any concerns about his psyche after the wake of this?
Well, you're always concerned when people move on, and that's part of the game. It's the nature of the game. It could have been the same thing as if somebody had gotten hurt. And it's one of those things that we have to soldier on. We have to move on and go forward, and I believe he will.
Have you had a chance to talk to him specifically about kind of where you guys were when?
Well, I'm not going to get into what was talked about. Okay.
A couple weeks ago, you mentioned that you were concerned that maybe there was too much being put on Curtis, and that maybe you were overloading him.
Mm-hmm.
This trade and moving it into a more prominent role seems to maybe add to that.
No, I think what it does is it defines what he's going to do now. Now you're not trying to find a way to get him on the field. Now he's going to specific role. This is it. This is what you do. You're the Z or you're the F, as opposed to, okay, you're the Z, you're the F, you're the H, you're the U, whatever. Now we say, okay, we don't have to work to find opportunities for guys.
What did you learn in 2015 when Cam didn't have Benjamin then that you were able to apply to?
Well, it's one of the things that I've talked about constantly is that when I open up the play-by-play, one of the things I always look at is how many guys were targeted. And you like to see the targets equal across the board. And that was one of the things that I really appreciated about 2015 was how many different targets we used.
Ron, is Demir Bird a guy that could fit into this category?
Potentially he could, most certainly. He's still healing from the broken arm. I think he still has 2 weeks before he's eligible to come off.
Anything else for Coach? All right, cool. Thank
Okay.
Hey guys, I'll get you a copy of that report. Sorry.
They're going to be right away, or?
Yeah, in a few minutes. I just got to get upstairs.
Okay.